Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 10 of the Daily Dose. I am Precious Osagiaresa, MCBA Communications Director, and we're going to talk about a touchy subject today with Brittney Griner. Let's get right into it. So, this time coming out of marijuana moment, we have the White House. The White House condemns sham Russian court after Brittney Griner's cannabis appeal denied, while another American marijuana prisoner cut off from family. It says the U.S. government is strongly condemning a Russian court's decision to reject an appeal for WNBA player Brittney Griner, who was sentenced to 9 years in prison for possessing vape cartridges containing cannabis oil. As the court handed down the ruling on Tuesday, despite Griner's attorney providing proof that she was a registered medical cannabis patient in Arizona, another U.S. citizen who has been convicted over marijuana in Russia has reportedly been transferred to a secret penal colony without contact with his family. That just goes in to show you exactly what's happening over there with the case. It goes in and says for Griner, however, the U.S. State Department was relatively quick to assign her case as a wrongful detention, escalating the urgency as President Joe Biden has worked to personally assure her family and that the White House is doing everything it can to secure her release. There's some expectation that a prisoner swap may be on the table once the judicial appeals process is exhausted. So I just want to kind of break all of that down. Um, we knew recently in the news when Brittney Griner was stopped at the airport while leaving Russia because she plays on the Russian team overseas for cannabis oil vape cartridges. She's arrested. She's been there for well over 200 days so far, and now we're finding out that Russia denied the appeal of her 9 year sentence. So there's a possibility that she will be, in jail for that time period or even longer while the U.S. negotiations continue with Russia. Now, understanding the climate we're in with Russia, everyone knows that these conversations are extremely difficult to have because of the conflict in Ukraine. Um, it's just really sad to tell you the truth what's happening with Brittney Griner and with the other U.S. citizen who's there. Um, there are actually no words for it because when the president is doing everything that they can or saying they're doing everything that they can, knowing that the position Russia is holding right now with the world, the contention that's happening, it's almost really hard to see the light at the end of this. And for all of us advocates in cannabis, I think we really have to do more to rally behind Brittney Griner because we have to understand there is a real possibility they might make her sit in a Russian jail for 9 years for this cannabis possession. Again, this says that a prisoner swap may be on the table, judicial proceedings are still happening, negotiations are still happening with the US. But again, just thinking about the conflict with Russia, there has to be something more that can be done. And I think this just goes to speak that while we're all super excited about cannabis in the states, cannabis in our local cities, in our jurisdictions, and watching the rapid movement of cannabis come online in the regulated space, especially now on the East Coast, we still have to know that globally it's still a challenging product. Like again, it's still federally illegal here in United States, and we're looking at a review to this schedule. So we're even just at the beginning of that process where we know other countries have way more stricter laws when it comes to cannabis use that turn into a situation like Brittney Griner. So lots of thoughts and prayers for sure, but we need action as the cannabis community to rally behind Brittney Griner and her family, to bring her home because it seems like the time served right now that's going into her sentence should count. There's just a lot of small facets and details which I think that are not being told for us to really come in and help. So I would love to get your thoughts on this discussion. Please feel free to comment. If you're already doing something, if your organization, company is doing something in support of Brittney Griner, please reach out to MCBA because we'd love to be a part. We find a way to contribute. And again, I think we need to create more lanes and more conversation about what's happening to Brittney in Russia because it's disheartening. We don't want anyone in jail for cannabis, yet alone in a Russian jail for cannabis for upwards of a decade. You know, this is a young woman who's had a super powerful WNBA career and even college career. A lot of you may know, some of you don't know, I was also a basketball athlete throughout my life up until college. So Brittney Griner was definitely one of those figures I looked up to as a woman who was breaking the ceiling when it comes to women's sports professionally, especially in the basketball arena. And she has like the support, like doing the kickoff game for the Golden State, Steph Curry, he gave a really nice, you know, speech and dedicated that time while they were getting their rings to Brittney Griner to remember to call on both associations, NBA and WNBA, to be collectively working to bring her home. And again, there's another U.S. Citizen who was also in Russian jail, and now we're finding out that he's given no access to family. We don't know what the communications are like. You know, it's really hard when you're not even a public figure. So to see a public figure even having a harder time, you know, it's very disheartening. So I'm hoping that the administration is doing everything in its power. You know, prisoner swap seems like that's where some people are leaning towards as to what could possibly happen. But again, just thinking about the contention we're currently in and the state of the world right now with Russia and its position in Ukraine. You know, it's just disheartening all over. So, like I said, if you guys are doing something to support Brittney, let us know. We'll probably start our own campaign or further the campaigns we've been doing in her support. And we need to get her home as soon as possible. So yeah, but shifting notes on a little brighter note, if you haven't signed up for our networking event tomorrow with MCBA, be sure to hop on our social media channels to find that link. I'll also drop it here. Just come and mix it up with cannabis industry professionals, networking from all sectors of the industry, and really just start to, you know, build your arsenal of folks who you never know who you know, okay? It's always gonna be who you know that can possibly get you to that next step. Also tap in with all of our other MCBA events we have. Again, we are holding a pre-party for MJ Biz. I'll also drop the link for that here. Be sure to sign up, come mix and mingle with us before the whole conference. We'd love to get to know you. Until then, free Brittney. Have a good one, guys. Bye.